After Rush Limbaugh dismissed U.S. troops who oppose the Iraq war as being not real soldiers, it should come as no surprise that he places ideology over country, emphasis on id. But our number one story tonight, the Republican Party's most popular spokesman has now joined the worst of America's enemies, admitting on air that he is working toward the, quote, objective, his word, of American bloodshed in an American city. As usual, Limbaugh too cowardly to stand behind his words, claiming now that he only said he dreamed of riots at the Democratic convention in Denver, as there were in 1968 Chicago. His real remarks came Wednesday as he discussed his standing request that Republicans vote for Senator Clinton to prolong the Democratic race and deepen party divisions. As you will hear, he uses the word dream to mean ideal, not fantasy, and specifically calls riots the objective of his plan.
It's called Operation Chaos. The dream end. I mean, if people say, what's your exit strategy? The dream end of this is that this keeps up to the convention. And that we have a replay of Chicago 1968 with burning cars, protests, fires, literal riots, and all of that. That's the objective here. And there has been nothing that's happened on the battlefield for my vision of this to change.
After that, even his own listeners turned on him. Republican Denver Councilman Charles Brown among them saying, quote, for any radio announcer to wish a riot on a city so his party could win, that's disgraceful and it's absurd. And when one of his own callers said riots would make America look bad, Limbaugh replied, quote, screw the world. Do you really think we ought to govern ourselves on the basis of what the world thinks of us? Well, you know, as it says in the very first sentence, they wrote the Declaration of Independence out of, quote, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind. Limbaugh's indecency and true intentions revealed on his own website, still reading today, screw the world, riot in Denver. Let's bring in MSNBC political analyst Rachel Maddow, also the host of the Rachel Maddow Show on Air America Radio, which is actually patriotic. Rachel, thank you for your time tonight.
Thanks, Keith.
I don't want to waste time pretending there are two sides to this question of what he said. We just heard it. My question is, why on earth would he say it?
Well, you know, Rush Limbaugh in this election season, just this month, in fact, also said that women support Hillary Clinton's candidacy for president because they've had multiple abortions.
Yeah.
I mean, why does he say any of this stuff? Because he can, because he gets away with it. And I think he thinks that the criticism is even good for him because it makes him seem dangerous and newsworthy in addition to just loud.
But Republicans like to behave as if, you know, he's just the weird uncle. They use him to get the vilest stuff out there. So isn't this all really very much part of the mainstream Republican thinking about the Democratic race, that, you know, some bloodshed wouldn't be a bad thing politically, and, you know, so what if it's bloodshed?
Yeah, trying to find mainstream on this continuum here is not that hard to do. I mean, at one point in this race, I think it was a mainstream point of view to say that Democrats would be mad if instead of their primaries and caucuses determining who the nominee was going to be, it was going to be some backroom superdelegate thing. That has now come to pass, and Democrats are mad. It's also mainstream political analysis to look at 68 and 72 and 1980 and say the party that doesn't have a nominee at the time of their convention loses that next election. That's mainstream analysis. It's mainstream historical analysis to look back at 1968 in Chicago and say that was a disaster. Even if you only look at the toll on the police in Chicago, it was something like 119 police officers who were injured in that rioting. That's all mainstream about all different aspects of this. What's not mainstream is to wish 1968 style violence. I mean, he literally said burning cars, literal riots. It is not mainstream to wish that on an American city. It's just incredible.
Legally, we've come a very long way since the Haymarket bombing in Chicago in 1886, when they wound up hanging some anarchist writers who were not even in the state as murderers by proxy. And legally, there is this question of temporal remoteness. You say this now on the radio. It happens in August. It's not like yelling fire in a crowded theater. It is protected speech. But do you think that Limbaugh has any idea that were he to repeat what he said on the air, say the day before the convention or during it, he might actually be morally or legally responsible for incitement to riot?
I think that with the exception of things involving his housekeeper and painkillers and other people's Viagra at airports and stuff, I think that with the exception of stuff in his personal life, Rush is such a pro that he knows exactly where the legal line is that he's towing. And so I'm sure he knows that when he is speaking through his golden microphone in April about something that's going to happen in August, that he's not in any danger of any criminal charges here. But if he said this not through the golden microphone and in person and in August and in Denver, if he keeps with this line, and he was very overt about what he was asking for, then sure he would be in trouble. He's not there yet, but if he repeats this in the right place, that's absolutely the line that he's walking.
Finally, pushing the plan to the extreme, does he not damage his own hopes in this, which is that Clinton gets the nomination, or just maintain instability till the end by delegitimizing the untold segment of her vote total, sort of discussing the fact that he is actually part of anti-democratic support for a Democratic candidate?
Honestly, I think that the right has been very overt about this, that they have been very overt about the fact that the longer the Democratic nomination fight goes on, the better off they are. And I think when you see momentum shift to Clinton, sometimes you start to hear people on the right talk up Barack Obama. They're very open about the fact that they want this nomination fight to go on forever. The irrational thing here is that Democrats aren't taking heed of that and just picking anybody, picking someone.
Rachel Maddow of Air America and MSNBC, for instance. Great, thanks, Rachel. Have a good weekend.
You too, Keith. Thank you.